CVA's Accura Series, Bagara barrels for guaranteed accuracy, nitride for guaranteed rust proofing, and a rifle guaranteed to be the best muzzleloader you've ever shot. CVA, it's just a better gun.
All right, let's go over and do this week's Pictures of the Week. This week's Picture of the Week being brought to you by Flowers Garden Center and Deer Processing. They're at 4550 Eatons Creek Road. They're in Nashville, Tennessee. You guys can stop in there this coming deer season, let them take care of all your processing needs, and be sure to tell the Flowers family thank you for all they do for us here at the show. All right, we got some great pictures here tonight. This one right here, guys, this is Billy Moore, and this is a double that he caught on an A-rig, Dayton.
The old brown fish.
Hollow. It was, one of them was 4.2 and one of them was 4.8. Caught at the same time on an A-rig. Now, I guarantee you that was a good time getting two things into the boat, guys.
You know it.
Congratulations on that, Billy. Another nice fish here. This is Roy Spain, and this is a nice bass he caught on Gunnersville.
Look behind him at the vegetation.
I'm telling you.
Watch it.
That's where they're at.
I'm telling you.
On Gunnersville.
Easy.
Especially on Gunnersville. It's full of that vegetation. All right, y'all might recognize a couple of those buildings in the background there in that picture. This is Danny McLeod, and Danny had a great day smallmouth fishing in downtown Nashville this past week.
Yeah,
and I mean, they had a day. They had a day.
He can get the net.
He can get the net.
That's right.
He might even let you come out there and get the net for him one day.
I'm lucky.
But congratulations on those great pictures. Those are some good fish. We talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
People don't a lot of times realize the fish and the quality of fish that are right here in downtown Nashville.
I mean, everything from sauger walleye to any species you want.
All in there.
Monster catfish.
Some good fish. Y'all can send your pictures to us here, 474 James Robertson Parkway, or get them to me right there at the at the email on the screen or on Facebook, either one. We're going to share them here on the show just as soon as we can. All right, guys, welcome back to the studio. We are again joined tonight by Paul Neighbours and Casey Neighbours. And now, guys, we already got out. We're on Old Hickory Lake. That's where you spend most of your time at, Paul. You fish for multiple things, but you're a big-time catfish guy, and Old Hickory's where you're typically at. But let's tell folks first off that may not know a little bit about the noodle itself. It basically looks to me, it's basically like a pool noodle, I guess, cut down into pieces, and then what is it from there? A piece of PVC?
PVC is put in it, and then you can fill it up probably halfway maybe with water.
Okay.
You put a big egg sinker in there so that, and you top it off, and so that when that fish hits it, you know, he's going to tip it up. That water's going to go down, that sinker's going to, and you know.
And it'll stand straight
there's
up.
a fish on it right there. Same with the Ultimate Noodles, except the Ultimate Noodle has a spring. It's spring loaded. So when that fish hits that noodle, it's going to trigger that line because it's got a little notch right there that you can.
And we've featured those here on the show before. There's some local Wilson County guys, but they have a great product there, and it sets that up.
Probably for 5 years now, and those things don't let go. And they hit that spring,
snatches them,
but it's got them.
Whereas sometimes, and you mentioned it on the video, sometimes with just a regular noodle or jug, either one, they'll almost just hold that bait. I mean, you wouldn't believe it, but they'll hold it.
Try to mash it.
Swim with it.
They will.
And next thing you know, they'll just let go of it, swim off.
Yeah, and it'll lay down. Or sometimes you'll get a quick jerk, just enough. You'll see it floating, but he won't be on it. But they've really done that a lot this year. You know, a lot of people are quick to jerk, but those catfish right now, like I said, they're in 6, 7, 8 foot of water. And you got to give them time to get that shrimp. That's what we use, shrimp with the red Kool-Aid, the cherry, strawberry. Everybody has their version, but you'll take that package of shrimp, put it in the sink, let it thaw out overnight, and pour your Kool-Aid on.
Just the powder itself?
Just the powder itself. Shake it up, and when you get there, it's going to be just as red. Blood red. And I tell you what, it's what I've been using for close to 15 years now.
It seems to work pretty well.
It is that and chicken breast.
Chicken breast. And you do the Kool-Aid on chicken breast as well, just chunked up, I guess?
The blues, to me, the blues prefer the chicken breast.
Okay.
They do. And we've caught some big ones this year.
I've seen some.
And,
I've seen you
this
with
is the
boat full
time.
of them.
If you want the blues, right now is the time to go out there, because right now they're finished doing their spawn, and they're looking to eat because they've been on the bed for a while. So now is the time to get out there and catch those fish.
Now, what kind of line and hook setup do you have on these things?
Well, we use 30-pound big game, and we use 2/0 hooks.
Okay. I know it didn't look like they were just a huge hook. I mean,
Right.
you know, pretty good, just a little hook. And you were sitting, I would say you probably had those, 5-foot of line off the bottom of those for the main part? So you're
Most
fishing
of our noodles are 10 to 12.
10 to 12. So that's actually
Yeah.
dragging the bottom. It looks shorter on the video while ago.
Old Hickory has a lot of islands
Yeah,
out there in the
is.
middle.
Yes.
And you'll watch a lot of the bass fishermen will hit those islands. Same way with catfish. They'll come across the top of those islands to
Yeah.
school.
They're
that
after
bait
the
fish.
same thing.
They are after the same thing.
Yeah.
And you'll get, I usually try to stay about 11 to 12 foot of water, and I'll drop those that way. They're about a foot above the bottom, and that's where, same way with my rod technique.
Yeah.
We use slip floats, and we put the bobber stopper, and that way,
Yeah.
of course, you can go 30, 40 foot deep
Right.
with those bobber stoppers. And, you know, it's in the early spring, we're trying to find out what depth they are.
Yeah.
That's when we use
That's
the
a
rod.
great, it is a good technique to find depth. We use it for crappie a
crappie
lot.
too,
you
yeah.
know.
And like you caught
Yes.
those catfish that time at the steam plant on a floater.
Yeah.
You know.
And in that day, it was the difference of we were on the bottom at first, and you know how it is up there. That current's coming
Yeah.
through, and there's fish there, and you'd catch them, but you'd hang up.
Right.
So I finally took a slip float and just started setting it, and I dropped it a little more, and I dropped a little more, and I told my buddy, I said, I'll figure this out here in a minute. It's
We're
going to
gonna
be
put 'em
game
where
on.
they're
And I finally hit that right depth, and after that, I mean, it was as quick as you could throw it in there. But it's just presenting that bait at the right depth for any fish. It don't matter what it is. You got to present it at the right depth. That's a
Exactly
lot
right.
of the game is getting it to the right
I've always
depth.
heard that fish will come up for a bait.
They'd much prefer to come up for a bait.
Yes. So
Absolutely.
if you've got it, especially crappie, if
Right,
you're out of boat, they're
definitely.
going to come up.
And if they come down at your hook, they're also not as likely to get hooked anyway. You're likely to feel him and not actually get it set on them anyway. So, yeah, it's definitely getting it to the right depth is a big deal with any of them, and a slip float's a good way to do it.
And I mean, you know, catfish, there's so many of them in all of our lakes in Tennessee and everywhere else. It's just a great fish to target.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun. They fight. They're good eating. Table fare. I
It's
mean,
Nealon's new favorite.
that's
He's
right.
hooked on
He's
it.
hooked on the catfish.
It's all about the catfish now.
Hardly anybody will turn down catfish.
Right,
We can,
right.
you know, we get so many that finally I'll just come to the bank and I'll see a
Anybody
guy
will take
fishing on the
some
bank,
flags, won't they?
and I'll say, "How you doing, man? I've been sitting here for an hour." And that's when you want some fish. And he'll take them.
Yeah.
He'll go home.
Absolutely.
And, he'll tell his wife,
You
"Look
don't
what I
like
got."
how- That's right. Yeah, every
Yeah,
time.
that's smart now.
Yeah.
Dayton Blair line.
That's right. There it is, right here.
Well, guys, we're going to get ready to go over now and do this week's product of the week. This week's product of the week's being brought to you by Candy Fork Outdoors. Y'all can find them at cfoutdoors.com, or you can get off I-40 at the Center Hill Dam exit. Go to the bottom of the hill and make a right. You'll find them right there at the Big Rock Market. Go in there and let the Martin family take care of all your kayaking needs and get you out there on the beautiful Candy Fork River. All right, here's what we got tonight, guys. Now, this is something you've seen probably in the boat, different videos. We keep this with us all the time. It's a product we use. We don't just talk about it. This is line taming serum. And, you know, you can say, well, I don't need that stuff, whatever.
Right.
I don't care how good you are with a bait caster. I use it on my spinning rods
Spinning
too,
reels.
but it's going to make your smoother lines. You have better casts. You have less backlash.
And monofilament stores memory, and that tries to take a
This
little bit
takes
of
it
that
away.
tries to
A lot
moisten
of
it
it.
up to get a little bit of it out.
It is. You guys can contact John Adams for this, 931-235-2138. Get your hands on some. I promise you, you keep a few bottles of this around. A few drops is all it takes at a time. It barely uses any at a time. And you will be a lot happier with your casting.
Definitely.
and your
Spending
line.
more time fishing,
That's right,
less
more
time
fishing.
picking.
We're going to get ready to take a quick break. We'll be right back with some more Southern Wisdom Waters.